So today I'm going to talk about invented reasons. I used to listen to a YouTube channel. What is the name of his YouTube channel? His name is Scott Adams. He created Dilbert, the comic strip, which became even a cartoon or something, or more than just a comic strip. But he created Dilbert, Scott Adams. And is it called Real Coffee? Real Coffee with Scott Adams. Real Coffee with Scott Adams. The world was going crazy because of the war between Trump and the mainstream media. And he helped bring some kind of clarity. Like, he would separate what Trump was saying from the way he was saying it, and helped me understand that the world wasn't necessarily falling all apart. But you know, that's what the media does to get views, is they say the sky is falling so that everyone will watch more often. So it kind of just makes sense, you know. And if Trump just wanted attention, he got it. So it was a win-win for the media and Trump to pretend like they were at war with each other. Were they actually at war with each other? Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. All right. So one of the things Scott Adams says, and when you listen to somebody for a long time, you get these underlying principles. Maybe he says it straight out, maybe he doesn't. But he said pretty much straight out that people, we have reasons, but we apply the reasons to make it acceptable to do whatever we want to do. So we would think that we would assemble all the reasons and pick the best reasons. Maybe we would have some unnegotiables, non-negotiables, and then we would make our decision based on the reasons. But it's more demonstrable. It's more easier to demonstrate that we do whatever we want, and then we make up the reasons later. So I was just trying to remember, did I take my vitamin this morning? And I came to the realization that I did take my pill this morning because it was 8 o'clock. I took my 8 o'clock pill. So there you go. 8 o'clock, take your 8 o'clock pill. Now that's a reason, right? But that's like a fake reason. Other reasons would be, you know, somebody told me I'm supposed to take this pill, like maybe a doctor, or, you know, your parent told you to take this pill, or somebody told you to take it, like authority. One would be, oh, well, I'm taking this pill because it's going to help me be healthy. I'm taking this pill because I have it. That's a very strong motivation for the hoarder instinct. Is like, we think we have to use something because it's there, or we think we have to save something because it's there, or we think we have to eat something because it's there. And I'm using hoarder in a really general sense. I'm not the classic definition of, I don't fit the classic definition, thank God. But if you give me 500 French fries, I'm going to eat them. If you give me 1,000 French fries, I'm going to eat them. If you give me 8 French fries, I'm going to eat them. So there's something to do with not eating until you're full, but eating until they're gone, right? So there's a possession problem. Like, I own this thing, so I have to keep this thing, or I own this thing, so I have to give away this thing, or I own this thing, so I have to categorize this thing. I have to keep it in my house until I'm dead, or I have to get it out of my house. And so there's something that I'm calling hoarding about stuff, you know, instead of like, well, you know, I could keep this, or I could toss it, like, who cares? Or I could toss it later, or I could decide later. But it's like, no, this thing I have to keep it or trash it or give it or whatever. So anyway, the tyranny of the thing, we'll call that, because that doesn't have the hoarder attachment, emotional attachment to that word. So, why do I take my 8 o'clock pill? Well, it's much easier to remember and much more utilitarian, and I'm likely to actually do it if my reason is the fake reason. Oh, I took my 8 o'clock pill because it was 8 o'clock. And of course, that's not a reason at all. That's just a mental trick to hang that task upon so that I don't forget to do it. And of course, the real reason why I would take it would be different. It's gonna help me, or it's gonna keep me from harm, or it's gonna increase my magnesium level or something like that. That would be the reason. But what Scott Adams does in his Real Coffee with Scott Adams YouTube channel, which is also now on something called Locals, is he does practical things and persuasive things. So he's always trying to get people to do something or think something or feel something. And his premise is that you can make yourself do anything if you have the right mindset, and you can frame the world in such a way that it works for you if you want to do that, by changing your motivations, your reasons, your reasoning, and stuff like that. So it's very interesting because he tries to find the logic behind the illogic way we use our minds so that we can do what's logical in spite of ourselves, in spite of our emotions. So anyway, check out Real Coffee with Scott Adams if you're interested in those kind of, I don't know, emotional, psychological hacks to make your life better in some way. He was doing it through politics, but he's basically doing that all the time. He's like deeper than a salesman. He's always trying to get people to think something in particular. And he seems to think he can argue both sides of every argument. And I suppose he probably could. I suppose we all probably could. So happy Tuesday? Happy Wednesday. Yeah, happy Wednesday. We are learning a dance called the Jitterbug, which was filmed for The Wizard of Oz, but cut from The Wizard of Oz. I don't know if it was filmed I don't know if it was filmed like, a clip survives of it, but I think maybe that was just a rough filming just to like get a taste of how they should film it for real, and maybe they never filmed it for real. Anyway, it never got into the movie, and it is in the play. So more about The Wizard of Oz later, and happy good evening, good night, and good morning, as Hudna1 would say. HUDNA1. Check her out sometime. She's an extremely interesting YouTuber. All right.